window opened, then clicked shut. A group of 7th graders filed into the hall, led by their teacher. The year was 2019, and they were being taken on a field trip to the George Eastman Museum.
And to think I have to be dragged along on a boring field trip in a boring museum with the boringest people I've ever had to suffer with. I didn't sign up for this.
Oh, come on. It's a museum. Enjoy it.
I wish everyone wouldn't walk so slowly. Just sprint through everything and get it over with.
If you think everyone's walking too slow, why are you trailing behind them?
I'll do what you wish, but the only reason I was walking slower was that... Say, I wonder what's behind this door.
Stay on topic, will you?
Girls, remember to stay with your groups. If you stray behind, you might get lost.
It was just a supply closet anyway.
It was? That's weird. Why would there be a random supply closet in the middle of nowhere?
This whole place is weird. What's the use of all these collections anyway?
To carry on a legacy, I'm guessing.
Whose legacy?
Let me point you to the name of this museum.
But George Eastman's dead. Why do we have to learn about some random dead dude? Wait, what's this?
It's just another door. Come on.
No, not the door. This.
Reyna held up a small trinket to her friend's eyes. It flashed golden in delight, but nothing was on it except for a dial and an etched portrait of Eastman.
Ooh, it's pretty. I don't think anyone owns it. You should keep it.
I wonder if anything happens if you turn it.
As she tentatively pushed forward the dial, suddenly everything began to change. The clean white walls of the museum were melting, the framings and hangings disappearing. The two girls looked up and barely had time to scream as the world around them started spinning, slowly at first, and then faster and faster and faster. Slowly, ever so slowly, the spinning stopped. Her eyes squeezed shut, Reyna felt herself lying sprawled out on the wooden floor of a porch, breathing hard. Inessa was lying right next to her, and as Reyna opened her eyes, it suddenly dawned on her that she was on the front porch of George Eastman's childhood home.
Again? I'm sorry. Did I frighten you?
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry. You must be from the future?
Does that imply you're from the past?
No, but everyone who shows up on our front porch like this says that they come from the future, from a museum named after me.
Oh hey, that's where we came from.
A likely story.
Sarcasm?
Yes, actually. I see no reason for there ever to be a museum named after me. I'm not even in school yet.
Yet there is. You invented the Kodak camera.
Cameras? Bah! Those big bulky things with the tents of gear and bottles of chemical solutions? Never. But anyways, care to stay a while? My mother loves company. George? Oh, there you are. Who are those two young ladies with you? Oh, I see. Come in, please.
What's going on?
I am 99% sure this is a hoax, but it doesn't matter. Enjoy the moment. Whatever happens, it'll make a nice history field trip report.
They went into the quaint little house, past the white Greek-style pillars and the green shutters. At a polished dining table, an elderly man and two girls were reclining. George introduced them as his father and his two sisters, Katie and Ella Maria, and promptly became his usual quiet, unsmiling self again.
Our future guests always seem to be interested in our history. I suppose you are as well?
Oh yes, naturally.
There's nothing interesting about us. I wonder why we get all the guests from the future. We're just any old ordinary family.
We used to live in Waterville, New York, on 10 acres, but 3 years ago when George was 5, we gave up farming and moved here to Rochester. Dad is managing a business school called Eastman Commercial College.
Hey, we live in Rochester too.
You do? What does it look like in your day?
I'd say a lot more industrialized. There's skyscrapers and such.
And I thought it was industrialized already. We're in the middle of the 19th century after all.
What school do you go to? We are mostly self-taught, but George might go to a private school in the fall. It's pretty expensive, but education is everything nowadays.
I doubt I'll actually go. I'm not the brightest.
But you're going anyway, isn't he?
Oh, of course. A man can't do anything in this world without an education.
What year did you say it was again? I didn't. 1862.
Isn't that in the Civil War?
Oh, Civil War, pshaw. I'm positive the rebels won't be able to hold up to our forces for much longer. It'll all be over soon.
The girls refrained from telling Kitty that her hopes were false, instead accepting her offer to show them around the house. They cleared the table and made small talk, forgetting George in the presence of his more extroverted sisters. Yet although they enjoyed themselves immensely that evening, they still feared the future.
Whenever you want to leave, I can just turn the gold dial again, you know? Thank goodness I still have it.
But what if it takes us someplace else instead of back to the museum, like some battlefield or prison camp?
I'm positive it won't. This is a sweet family and a nice city, but the group is probably worried about us. Maybe we can come back here sometime? Here, let's go out on the front porch again. The evening air is so nice.
Shouldn't we tell them goodbye so they don't get to wondering?
George said he was used to it. I'm sure it's fine just to go. Katie might try to get us to stay longer if we told her.
With that, she turned the dial. The road spun, the two squeezed their eyes shut as they descended into dizziness. But when the spin stopped and they dared to open their eyes again, they found they were not back in the museum hallway, but beside a bedroom which looked suspiciously 19th century.
It didn't work.
Shh!
They were kneeling at the bedroom door, and through the crack they could see George Eastman, suspiciously older than when they had last seen him just minutes ago, kneeling at the side of the bed. Lying there was Mr. Eastman, just like before, but thinner, paler, weaker.
I know you try to object, but I feel my life slipping away from me. When I die, the college will most likely fail. I have not succeeded in finding a business partner. And you and your mother and your two sisters will have to get by on your own.
But the doctor says you'll be perfectly fine.
George. Did you really believe him? Could you not see past his deception? His use of the placebo?
I'll pour you some water.
Thank you. As I was saying, the college will most likely fail, and my dream of making it successful will be forgotten. That I do not care about. I just care that you all will be able to live the lives you wanted to live, not bogged down by financial adversity. I don't know how that will work, and my mind is too feeble to make plans. But you'll make out somehow, some way. You've got to, you know, to carry on the insurmountable family name.
No. Surely you'll get better.
No. I am staring death in the face.
Inessa, I don't want to stay here anymore. He's only 8. It's too sad. Let's fast forward.
Katie, I've lost my father. I can't lose my sister, too.
I'm sorry. I would stick it out if it was only for you, but I don't stand a chance against the odds.
You've beaten the odds so many times. They're in your dust. Can't you beat them just once more?
Not this time. Think on the bright side. When Dad died, the college failed and you had to drop out of school and work at that sketchy insurance firm. But when I die, nothing more. Ha! My little brother, a messenger boy. And then you got in that other insurance firm for increased pay. $5 a week, was it?
Still not enough pay.
Oh, George, always the overachiever. You do know that I sometimes slip out of my room and watch you at nights, studying accounting in that dim lighting.
What?
I catch you in the act every time. You should take better care of your eyes. If only I'd still be able to tell you that 5 years from now.
Reyna, I don't like this. Let's go.
A pack horse load, as you call it. A pack horse load.
George Eastman, is that you?
Me?
We met you a few minutes ago. I mean, when you were 8.
Ah! 16 years have passed since I last saw you. I'm 24 now. My future guest is showing up again.
And just in time, too. Seagulls, what a lovely pack horse load George has here.
What in the world is all that stuff?
Well, that's what it takes to shoot a photograph, of course. The cumbersome equipment, the wet plates with their chemical solution spreadings, whatever it is, the tent, the jug of water, the plate holder, the tank. This is wonderful, George. Simply wonderful.
You're kidding.
Reyna flipped her phone out of her pocket, scrolled to the camera app, and showed it to the aghast young man, who cried out in disbelief and told her she was a hoax.
But it can't be. It just can't be. In this day and time, if you want to document your vacation with photography like Eastman here does, it takes power and sacrifice.
Vacation?
I'm planning a trip to Santo Domingo, and I'd like to make a record of it. My friend here advised I use photography, and this stuff, I gotta say, this stuff is pretty cool. I'm guessing you don't want to stay here much longer. It'll get quite messy when I start putting on emotions.
I'll take your advice.
Hey, I recognize you two.
Of course you do. We're very memorable. How was the vacation?
You mean the trip I planned to Santo Domingo? I never made it.
What?
Things got in the way, but the planning did me good.
How so?
You see, it got me into photography. My death wish, I've decided, is to simplify that backbreaking procedure.
Oh, great.
No, I mean it. Do you want to see my workshop?
Workshop? You mean the kitchen?
Yeah. I work as a clerk at the Rochester Springs Saving Bank in the day, and I work here at nights, developing my dry play idea. I can show you if you'd like.
That would be wonderful.
Well, I started doing some reading in these stacks of British magazines, and I found that other innovators are developing dry plate photography by making their own gelatin emulsions, so that even though the plates are dry, they still retain their sensitivity. So now I'm using one of the formulas in the magazines to develop and test my own emulsion.
Sounds complicated. Won't that take you a long time?
Yes, but I am willing to defeat any obstacle to curate it to its best working ability.
George means it. Sometimes he's so tired at night, he can't even undress. He just sleeps on a blanket by the stove.
Wow, I can't wait to see you succeed.
Well, I don't know if I'll succeed or not. I suppose if you fast forward on your time travel thingy, you'll find out. Too bad you can't tell me in advance.
Hello again.
Good afternoon. How may I help you?
We met you, it may have been years ago.
Ugh, it's been 3 years, I guess. Can't believe I still remember. Last time I was still working on my emulsion formula, and you were asking me whether or not you thought I'd be successful.
Well, were you?
You may judge that for yourself. Here, let me show you around.
Where are we?
Well, we are in a building George purchased on Rochester's State Street. Here's the engine we purchased to manufacture dry plates. It's second-hand, but we may purchase a new one soon. It'll cost more than $125 this time. I really only needed a 1 horsepower. This was a 2 horsepower, but I thought perhaps business would grow up to it. It's worth a chance, so I took it.
It works beautifully.
She does, doesn't she? After George developed his formula and invented his manufacturing machine, he started wondering if he could sell the machine to other photographers. And the idea was born. I was interested to stake myself a claim. And then soon after we started this. Eastman Dry Plate Company. See it up there?
How did you get licensed to do this, though?
Hey, here, I'll take down our government patent from the wall so you can see it. We went all the way to London to obtain it. Can you believe that?
Whoa, so you made a whole company out of this?
Yep, we did. And if you fast forward to the future, you guys might see which direction it takes.
Look out!
The two girls scrambled out of the way of half a dozen horseless carriages at once. They were all jostling together in the wide street, an accident being avoided seemingly every minute as busy citizens crossed.
And to think we today complain about traffic laws.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it.
Here, let's see what this newspaper boy has to offer.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Oh, my apologies. Would you two like a paper?
Yes, please.
As Reyna studied the newspaper, Inessa let her eyes wander across the street. She made a little gasp when she realized that Eastman's building they'd been in minutes ago was right there. But it was titled Eastman Kodak Company. Curious, she tapped the newspaper boy.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, certainly, miss.
What's the story behind the name Kodak? You know, the company across the street?
Oh, let me see. Well, the Eastman Dry Plate Company of before became the Eastman Dry Plate and Film Company with over 14 shareholders. Then it morphed into the Eastman Company, and a year ago in 1892, Eastman he changed it to Kodak. I think. He said he invented the word. He likes the letter K, so he put it in front and behind of the word. It's silly, I know, but it works. I think that's what happened. You'd have to ask an adult, though. I'm just a newspaper boy.
That makes sense, thanks.
Well, of course. Would you like a paper?
Sure.
Let's cut out snippets of this to take home. Oh man, there are a lot of Kodak advertisements in here.
You press the button, we do the rest. I like that tagline.
They wrote here that Eastman's dream is to make the camera as convenient as the pencil. I'd say a century later, that dream was pretty well fulfilled.
Here, let's go visit George. Maybe he'll give us some more old newspapers to look over. These advertisements are genius.
I like that idea. Hi, Mr. Eastman. We're back.
Come in, please. How can I help you?
We'd like to know if you have any old advertisements we can look through. The ones we found in today's newspaper are pretty cool.
I keep a collection. Here it is. Well, if you're wondering about the word Kodak, I devised the name myself. The letter K had been a favorite with me. It's a strong, decisive sort of letter. It became a question of trying out a great number of combinations of letters that made words starting and ending with K. The word Kodak is the result.
I like it, and thank you.
You sell film rolls too? I just found this 1885 advertisement. Shortly, there will be introduced a new sensitive film which it is believed will prove an economical and convenient substitute for glass dry plates both for outdoor and studio work.
Ho, yeah, I remember that. I first experimented with coated and rolled paper in a roll holder, but after finding that could lead to grainy film, I used transparent film in the form of collodion varnished gelatin.
I still don't understand, though. How did photography turn from this cumbersome field of innovation into the mainstream hobby it is today?
Well, I don't know how it is in your day, but the idea gradually dawned on me that what we were doing was not merely making dry plates, but that we were starting out to make photography an everyday affair, When we started out with our scheme of film photography, we expected that everybody who used glass plates would take up films. We found that the number which did so was relatively small. In order to make a large business, we would have to reach the general public.
Yes.
So, we built the small, handheld Kodak camera, pricing it at just $25. It has 100 films. Once all of them are used and exposed, you can take it back to our company, and we will replace them for $10.
And that's where the modern Kodak camera came from?
Probably.
I think we should get going now. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. See you in my future, I guess.
And we meet again. Have you made a fortune yet, Mr. Eastman?
You know, I have, but I prefer to give most of it away to public good.
Oh, very noble. Like Carnegie?
Yes. If a man has wealth, he has to make a choice, because there is the money heaping up. He can keep it together in a bunch and then leave it for others to administer after he's dead, or he can get into action and have fun while he's still alive. I prefer getting it into action and adapting to human needs and making the plan work.
What kinds of things have you donated to?
Well, the amount I've given to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that amount numbers in the millions. I keep myself anonymous, though, under the name of Mr. Smith.
Nicely done. Mr. Smith is quite the generic name.
I also developed a Rochester dental clinic and a children's dental program.
Ew, why dental clinics? Braces are so annoying.
Well, I get more results from my money than in any other philanthropic scheme. It's a medical fact that children can have a better chance in life with better looks, better health, and more vigor if the teeth, nose, throat, and mouth are taken care of at the crucial time of childhood.
That's true, I have to say.
My older sister goes to something called the Eastman School of Music, and I was wondering, was that founded by you too, or was that someone else?
Yes, that was me. It is impossible to buy appreciation of music, yet without a large body of people who get joy out of it, any attempt to develop musical resources of any city is doomed to failure.
And you've given to education too, right?
The progress of the world depends almost entirely upon education. I selected a limited number of recipients because I wanted to cover certain kinds of education. And I felt I could get results with those named quicker and more directly than if the money was spread.
I agree.
Reyna stuck her hands in her pockets in her usual tomboyish way, forgetting that the dial was still there. In her carelessness, she accidentally twisted it, and the world started spinning again.
Sorry, that was an accident. Where are we?
It's okay, I have no idea. There's no one here, I think. I hope.
There's a door over here. Let's go and see if Eastman is in there.
Shh, he's sleeping.
No, he's dead.
The two saw clearly that George Eastman was dead, and by his own hand. He had fired a single gunshot through his heart.
He has a suicide note here.
To my friends, my work is done. Why wait?
Can we go back now?
Is this the museum? This is the museum, thank goodness.
But why? Why would he do that?
His spine condition, I remember now. He didn't want to live the last years of his life in pain.
But Inessa, he was insurmountable. Surely he wouldn't have let pain stop him. And his work wasn't done. He could have gone on to do even greater things.
Whatever the case, he left a legacy as it is, a legacy no one will forget.
I guess so.
And even the most insurmountable people must be allowed to be weak.
Hurry up, girls. You're falling behind.